cycle often and close late. Often when we produce things, we go through a cycle. We start doing it, we know when we have to finish it. And often we just simply, we do what we have to do. It could be an assignment, it could be a thesis for something, it could be an application for something. We go through producing it, we cycle off. And then after that, well, we start on the date we start, we know when we've got to finish it, we hand it in. But by cycling often, I mean, well, if you don't have to hand it in, you haven't got to that date yet, why do you not just keep it on your computer or keep the manuscript on your desk or whatever? And there might just be other things that come along, new information, new ideas. A conversation with a colleague gives you something to put into whatever it is you're producing. So keep going round. It's not procrastinating. I'm not saying don't start late. I'm saying start, but don't finish too early, because better things often come along. And finally, it's not quite the same as knowing what you want. You have to manage the whole process, because now the process involves you, it involves new types of material, it might involve your colleagues, it will involve new types of media, new tools, a whole load of different stuff. So yes, by all means, play and experiment with all the things you're going to learn. But when you come to actually do it for real, when it comes to the hard stuff, have some sort of mini plan. Doesn't have to be that elaborate. A very quick just list of things, I say things to think about, but if you apply those 12 precepts, this is practical ways you might be able to do it. So we are managing mindsets of lecturers, of students, of other people. And that's an interesting concept, managing mindsets, because a lot of the time we are now going to be doing it remotely. And if you as a lecturer, you're talking remotely, maybe to 40 or 50 students, that's an awful lot of mindsets. And it's a lot more difficult than it is in the classroom. There's going to be a lot of self-reflection, a lot of learning by reflecting, with open-ended questions, flexible learning and personalities. As I said, when it's one-to-many in different locations, there's a lot of things that you need to take into account. Where people are going, rather than actually giving students, just throwing stuff at them, the best way these days is to give them certain amounts of core information and let them dig around, let them find the problems and then start wondering why, and then asking. Let them take risks. The flipped classroom, if you haven't come across that, I'm sure Sam will mention it, but in a nutshell, it's instead of in a face-to-face classroom, we would simply take a lecture and hand out some notes afterwards so that people can be reminded. In the flipped classroom, what you do, you'd hand out the notes first. So the low-level teaching is done first, and the high-level teaching, where you actually combine things, create new knowledge, is done when you actually have interaction. Listen to, well, audio, watch video, but take a look at role models and experts in your own field, but sometimes in other fields. I'll cover something in a minute that I actually learnt very recently from a fine artist. And the other thing is design thinking. There's a whole branch of design thinking now which can be used in education. I would look up Google design thinking for education, but design thinking generally puts the customer, or in your case, the student, right at the center of everything. It's not so much teachers teach students, it's now students learn from teachers. It's a slightly different way of creating your learning environment. And this is the bit I know that Sam's been waiting for. This was a problem. I won't tell you too much about the problem because it might give it away, but one or two people listening might know the answer to this. Imagine that you've got, this is a very special pair of fluffy bunnies. They're small. There's one male and there's one female. Now, the way that, well, we all know how rabbits work, but these rabbits, after a month, they've grown into larger rabbits. Now, we know that larger rabbits can produce other rabbits. Now, the only special condition on this is that a pair of rabbits, one male, one female, will produce one male and one female baby rabbit, like that. So after another month, you'll have two adult pairs and one, and so the sequence goes on. Now, the question that I have for you is, if this carried on for 12 months, each month a pair of rabbits grew up, all the adult pairs of rabbits had a pair of baby rabbits, how many rabbits would you actually have? How many pairs of rabbits, not how many rabbits, how many pairs of rabbits would you actually have after 12 months? So just pop a quick answer into the chat, see if you get anywhere near it. So given that these baby rabbits, they grow up, after 1 month, they can reproduce. And each pair of rabbits will have another pair of rabbits, which grows up and is able to reproduce after another month. You can see there's a pattern here, but how many pairs of rabbits do you think you would have after 1 year, i.e. 12 months? So somebody take a stab at this, otherwise I'll have to give you the answer.
Okay, they can put it on the, oh, you're getting answers there.
Yeah, I'm getting some 12 pairs, 13 pairs.
Only 2 answers. Only
2 answers so far. 11 pairs. People are thinking it's not very. I mean, come on, they're cute rabbits. How many are they going to? I mean, you've got 24 pairs. You've got to fall in love with them, even if you don't know the right answer. 12 times 12. Well, the right answer is believe it or not, is actually there. I don't know whether it was a guess or whether somebody really does know. But oh, hang on. Oh, I missed the slide out there. So what's actually happening is you actually have got a sequence of numbers. The answer to the question is the number on the right hand side. After 12 months, there will be 144 pairs of rabbits. But the number of pairs of rabbits is actually this sequence. Has anybody watching got any idea what that sequence? Well, that's only the start of the sequence. What that actually is? Yeah, absolutely correct. That is the Fibonacci sequence, which is an incredibly important sequence of numbers. It was discovered, if you like, by Leonardo Fibonacci in the 12th century, which is a long time ago. And apart from the numbers at the very beginning, if you divide one number by the previous number, you get the golden ratio. And as you go further down the sequence, the approximation to the golden ratio gets nearer and nearer and nearer to the golden ratio. So as designers, shall we say, you should be well aware of that number, the golden ratio. But the sequence of numbers, it controls how petals are arranged on flowers. It controls a number of things like that. And you're thinking, what on earth can I use that for? Well, bizarrely enough, if you're a teacher, a lecturer who deals in things that are practical, you can use this. There are many uses for it. But if you were drawing, if you were an artist, if you asked students to draw whatever they could see around them. If you gave them 1 minute to draw something, it doesn't matter whether they're good at drawing or not, just see what they could draw in a minute. Then the next time you gave them 2 minutes, and then 3 minutes, and then 5 minutes. You can actually skip some of these numbers out when you're doing this. But what you'll find is, I mean, it's nothing to do with improvement of drawing, but what you will find is that the amount of detail recalled by people drawing is actually, it gets more and more insightful, more and more detail. So it is something you can actually use. So this is an example of curiosity. And curiosity is something we need. If you get students interested people actually learn better, whether the subject is something that they're interested in or not. If they're interested in that one little thing, if they're curious, I mean, curious people include Einstein and Leonardo da Vinci. And Einstein claimed not to be a brilliant academic. So you can actually use that in your teaching. That is just one example. There are many examples of things that you can use to incite curiosity and encourage learning. So I'm going to leave you with my 4 top tips here, which we've rattled through this a bit, but there are notes online for you. So my 4 top tips are to record absolutely everything. You have on your phones a voice recorder. There are notepads. However you choose to record things, have something with you at all times. When an idea comes into your head, you've got somewhere to record it, rather than saying to a family member or a colleague, remind me about that, because it'll just get lost. Otter.ai is a great app for the phone. There is a free version, which obviously you don't have to pay for, but what it does is it transcribes your audio into text. So you get a printout or a printed version of what you spoke into it. Distraction. Yeah, if you've got a knotty problem, if you're getting stuck with something, let the creative bits of your mind actually do the working by distracting your brain, your mind. Go and do something different. Go for a walk, meet a friend, go to a party, go to the theatre, whatever. Distract yourself. Be curious. Google everything. If you didn't know about Fibonacci numbers, some of you do, Google Fibonacci numbers. But if something comes along that you don't know about, Google it, ask people about it, talk to other people, talk to curious people, and avoid the incurious people, because they're the dull people that you aren't going to get you anywhere. And finally, if you have some great ideas, whatever it is, ask young children. They are brutally honest. And if you're trying to explain something and they don't get it, then your explanation is rubbish. So ask young children. So 4 tips there for you. Record everything, distract yourself, be curious, and ask young children. So that's it. I've only run 1 minute and 20 seconds over. So you can take a snapshot of the QR code. You can go to the links URL and find some stuff to download. Or if you've got questions, there's 3 different ways to contact me there. So hopefully that's not everybody hasn't gone to sleep. And I'll stop sharing my screen there for now.
Sure. Do you have your book with you, Derek? Your textbook?
Oh, you always ask that, don't you?
Just show it to
There
people.
we go.
That's your text, yeah? Creativity
Yep.
in action. All right. So maybe if people can even go to Derek's website. There we go. Is it there on the screen, Derek, for you?
It is indeed.
And you can go to the website and go to find out more, or rethinking the future. Rethinking the future.
Yeah. There's all sorts everywhere. But if you go to rethinking the future, I wouldn't call them beginners materials, because that sounds insulting, but they're packaged in small ways. So there's a techniques kit. So if you want to use some simple techniques for creative thinking, they're all in there.
So they're all downloadable materials.
They're all downloadable.
Innovation handbook, visualization, which is very important for architects. Yeah. Good. So thank you. We'll just put all these links also in the chat so that people can. There we go. I've given his website. I've given the link on the chat. People can quickly go take it up, copy it for you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Derek, for your time. It was wonderful. Thank you for giving your insights all the way from UK and telling us the most important thing, what I learned from you over the years. It's been almost, I don't know, 6 or 7 years of journey.
6 years, I think now.
6 years, yeah. And I don't know, can you see my notebook? All scribbling everywhere. Yeah, everything scribbling. Yeah.
What you need is otter.ai, Sam, and then you can get it all in text form.
Yeah, there I give my word and word to text. This is the 28. See there, date, time, 28. Yeah, every day scribbling, writing, because my brain is not that intelligent like Gracina. Professors' brains are big, I keep writing and asking young children. The best thing we can do, professors, is I never feel shy to ask my students. If I tell them one software, they give me 10 softwares. They're more faster, yeah? And I should agree to that, that this generation is full of, because they're digital natives. I'm not a digital native, all right? I'm 80s old batch. These guys are 2020s, and there's a lot of difference between us and them. So we should understand, thank you for giving us that. Write everything, whatever comes to your mind. Ask young children, ask the young architects, ask the young people. I'm sure it will be a good idea. So thank you, madam. Can you just give a word of thanks? And Dr. Sandeep is there. He's a co-host. You can introduce Sandeep, and then we go with Dr. Sandeep. Okay, let me, Derek, there's Dr. Sandeep Joshua there. Sandeep Joshua, there is Derek there. And Derek is from UK, and Sandeep did his PhD in the University of Texas A&M in US in architecture. So good that you can interact even later. Can you just say hi to each other?
Hi, Derek. How are you?
Hello, I'm fine.
I came the last part, but it was very interesting talk.
Well, as long as you didn't fall asleep, that's fine.
Okay, cool. So, Kritika ma'am, over to you. Mute la irukeenga.
Thank you so much, sir, Professor Derek Sherry, sir, for your valuable insights on collaborative and innovative teaching. And now I request Professor Praveen to introduce our next keynote speaker, Professor Joshua from VIT Vellore.
Good afternoon. Cheers to you, okay?
Yeah.
Yes, Praveen, over to you.
Exactly. Good afternoon and a warm welcome to all of you present here. I'm glad to introduce our speaker, Dr. Sandeep Joshua Kota. He graduated in 2002 from Regional Engineering College, Tiruchirappalli. Now it's NIT Trichy, and his master's in city planning in the year 2007 from Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur, India, and his PhD in architecture in Texas A&M University, USA in the year 2020. And is currently working as an associate professor in Department of Architecture in VIT Vellore campus. His field of interest on research and teaching are building energy analysis and optimization, building daylight analysis, and also building information modeling. Today, he is here with us to talk about bridging the gap uninterrupted in architecture education. Once again, I welcome you, sir, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Professor Praveen. Thank you for the introduction. And I will just share the screen. Can you all see?
It's loading, sir. It's loading
up. Yeah.
Yes, sir. We are able to see, sir.
Oh, yeah, sure. Full screen? Yeah, perfect.
Yes.
Good to go.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. And my name is Sandeep Joshua Kota, and it's a great pleasure for me and also an honor to give a talk on online workshop on virtual pedagogy for architecture. And I'm an architect. And I first want to thank you, Professor Samuel Johnson, for approaching and giving me this opportunity. And I also want to this opportunity to thank management of SRM University, as well as Dean of said School of Architectural Interior Design, and all the organizing team members. Thank you very much. And I was supposed to present on 24th, for unavoidable reason I could not present, but there were two topics, and I will be combining them and talking. So the my topic title is Bridging the Gap, Uninterrupted Architectural Education, Replicating the Studio Teaching Online Using Digital Tools. I want to bring your attention to this graphics, and currently the pandemic situation has really suspended physical engagement between the faculty as well as the students, and also we are not able to physically meet, and it also created a gap and between the faculty and students, and posed a challenge of how certain types of courses could be taught for the architects. So what I will be focusing on is how to have an uninterrupted architecture education, and how to replicate the studio teaching and using these digital tools. You can see there's a small bridge, and a lot of icons are there, softwares, Wi-Fi, and tools. How we can use these digital tools to bridge the gap. A brief introduction about myself. My name is Sandeep Joshua and Kota, and I'm an associate professor. And I will. I don't want to take much time in introducing, because I have been introduced already. And you can reach me in these two emails. One is an official email and one is a personal email. And straight away head to the talk. In architectural program, there are several types of courses. Like if you see the chart, these courses could be classified into a theory-based courses and a studio-based courses. And if you further classify theory-based courses, we have purely theory, and we have theory and sketching. Sometimes I take a class, which is site planning, and sometimes I give a theory, and I should also sketch on the board to explain the concept. So these are the two theory-based courses. And then we have studio-based courses, which could be categorized into general studio and a design studio. In general studio, we have visual arts and architectural graphics and digital graphics and building construction and model making workshop and so on, and design. Now, how in a physical setup, like if you are in a university, how we administer or proctor these courses? The mode of administration is purely theory. Faculty will prepare a material PowerPoint, and or he could write on the blackboard, and the students will be listening and taking the notes. Sometimes it demands that certain courses require sketching to give the concept. So what the faculty does is he sketch on the board. For example, history, some kind of sketching is necessary, and site planning, definitely sketching is necessary, and building construction, some sketching is necessary in this too. So we use Blackboard, and we sketch the concepts and to explain, and the students take. Okay. What about studio-based courses? And the studio-based courses, like for example, if we take visual arts, the faculty will be demonstrating on a canvas or a sketchbook or a sheet, and students will be observing, or students will be asked to sketch, or they will be replicating the same thing and learning from observation and practicing. And then we have architectural graphics and construction technology classes, where a concept would be explained, and either on a blackboard or through a PowerPoint, and students are given some some assignments, and we definitely need drafting equipment like T-scale, set square, and board to do the assignments. And if you see computer graphics classes, the faculty would be demonstrating, and he might be projecting on the screen And as he is demonstrating the teaching about the softwares, the students either they can use a personal computer or they can use a lab computer to follow along and learn. These are the ways. And the last, we have a design studio. And there are several activities which happen in the design studio. I'm going to discuss about that. And introduction to the brief and discussing some key concepts when an architectural project is introduced. And we have activities like one-on-one discussion between faculty and students. It involves sketching and drawing, great deal of sketching and drawing. Sometimes drawing involves several layers of information when you're developing the design. And definitely we have design critiques. These are the activities. Now the key question that we have to ask, how do we administer or deliver different types of courses in the virtual environment? So there are certain quintessential requirements for virtual engagement. Infrastructure would be like a computer or a tablet and with a stylus. Connectivity, definitely for a virtual engagement, we require connectivity. If no connectivity is there, we cannot administer these. And interfacing softwares, which could be like a Zoom or a Team or Google Meet or any other conferencing software. You can see all these three things are common to all course types. And we need softwares and apps. And the softwares should provide capability to conduct different types of courses. I discussed 3 different types of courses. So each software should have certain capabilities which should facilitate administering these courses online. And definitely the course material, it could be a PowerPoint or a PDF file. How we can administer these courses online? For example, if you take purely theory, for infrastructure point of view, you just need a computer. I'm using computer to talk now. And you need interfacing software, a conferencing software, and a presentation software. We have PowerPoint or Keynote. There are several presentation software, and material is prepared by the faculty. And it's a very straightforward. Faculty will project and he will talk and students interact. But when it comes to sketching, we definitely need a computer which has on-screen capability, like sketching on screen and a stylus, or you can have a tablet. Myself, I'm currently having an iPad and a stylus, and you should have a software or an app which would give you the ability to write a canvas and a highlighter. And a welcome option would be copy paste the same content to make different alternates, and of course the material. Well, the studio courses, the requirements are a little bit demanding. Like for example, if you take visual arts, you definitely need a stylus. We need um, iPad to sketch, and we need to have uh, apps which will give you options like freehand sketching or drawing or rendering, or you should be able to use different mediums like or charcoal or watercolor, several different types of brushes. And apart from that, layering, because sometimes we use layering, and that kind of features has to be there in the apps or the softwares. And if you take the architectural graphics and construction technology and design, this set of courses, they need tools should have features like freehand sketching, and the features like which will enable us to draft, because a lot of drafting is involved in architectural graphics and construction technology. Also design studio. So shading and rendering capabilities. Well, for the design, we definitely need a layering capability. So I'm going to share a few examples from my teaching experience and how I'm using these tools. First, I will talk about the apps which I've been using currently to teach my classes. Next, I will talk about some examples how I've been doing. I've been teaching a class called site planning, and site planning, a lot of concepts have to be sketched. And so the tools which I use is the app that I use is Notability, and some of the key features it comes. There are other apps also, but I use Notability, and it gives these are the features like I can write freehand, and I can highlight things. If there is any diagram, I can highlight, and I can erase things, and copy pasting, and I can insert blank pages in the middle of the lecture notes, and I can also voice record. And it comes with the different paper types like plain, ruled, and grid types. We all know that grid papers really help us to make quick plans. Architects all know it. And it also has annotation tools, as highlighting tools, and different types of brushes and different colors are there. And there is an eraser tool. And if you could see, we have this scissors tool. What we can do is you can copy, like you can use a lasso tool and copy some aspect of the drawing and paste it. You can scale it. You can work out alternates. So in this example, of course, I've been using Notability in iPad, and I'm using Zoom, and I'm projecting my screen, and I'm underlining and writing. And while explaining, I'm also sketching on the images to cement the concept in the student's mind. Like sometimes theory is good. Some people learn by theory. Some people learn sketching. If you see the children's psychology, some people just learn by hands-on. And so this Notability gives us the option to annotate. And one of the examples, I was teaching contours, teaching about contours and grading in the site planning class. And I could annotate and show them like how the contours are there on the picture. I can import pictures and I can annotate on the pictures. And here we can see that grid line paper is used. And yes, we have a contour site, and we wanted to know what would be the slope, and how does the slope, is it a gradual, is it steep? So by using the grid, I can just like a length. I can use this units as a length, and then I can sketch it out. And uh, students are able to see that yes, this site, there are a lot of contours, but if you see, the site is gradual. So they had a better understanding when we are sketching. So I used to, and also the Notability has shading, and as a part of the course, I was teaching about the slope analysis, how to shade, and I could do quick calculation also on the canvas view, and using Notability as well as the Zoom, it could work as a whiteboard. And this is another class, and I have imported the material in Notability as a PDF. This is the class notes which I have shared with the students. And of course, I was going to the material. Sometimes we need to, they were designing shading devices, so I was drawing the window and how to do the shading. And several palette of colors are there, and I was using all these colors to explain to the students. Well, one of the limitations of Notability is that it doesn't come with the layering capability. It doesn't have a feature. Sometimes in a site planning, you need to diagram the site information. And we all know that in a conventional way, we used to, I did my undergrad in 1997 to 2000. Every time we used to have butter sheets, like bunch of butter sheets. So we will have um, one sheet which is having contours, and another sheet which is having roads and building programs. So I used a different. I was exploring. I came to know that this Notability has a limitation. I need to get some other software which gives me a layering capability with the opacity control and all. Of course. Uh, Photoshop is there. We all use Photoshop, but that doesn't have a like a freehand sketching sometimes. Well, I came across Autodesk Sketchbook, and this is I thought that this is one of the good apps which is free, and it could be used for design-based studios, which I was mentioning earlier. And you can see that we have several layers on the side, and I could control the opacity also. And I just wanted to discuss some features of this tool, this app. And it has a layering capability, so you can adjust the opacity of the layer. This software is a perfect blend of drafting with drafting software, that is AutoCAD. It doesn't have all the capabilities of AutoCAD, but it has some features of AutoCAD, like drawing the lines, straight lines, or circles, all these things you can draw. And it's a blend of AutoCAD as well as Photoshop. So I think it's a wonderful combination. And I was seriously exploring this, and it has some selection tools. You can select a part of it, you can copy paste, and there is a lot of selection tools. And it has image importing and skewing the image, and panning or mirroring the image and rotating the images for a reference if you want. And you can put that in one layer, and you can reduce the opacity and use that as a background image. And excuse me. It also has some shading tools such as solid fills, gradient fills, and radial fills. So I'll show you some examples how I have used this tool. And yes, another aspect is the scale. Like it has geometric tools like the scale. The scale can be could be moved up and down, and you can draw. It just works. It mimics the T scale, which we used to use in the studio, and parallels, and you can use French curves, and you could see that it has 3 pivot points, and you can change these pivot points to draw. And it also has the circular tool, which you can size it as a square or as an ellipse, and scale it. And all the combination of these tools could help us in teaching architectural graphics and construction technology, for that matter, even design studios. And it has some symmetry tools. We all know that polar array and I don't know the other, I think array and a polar array. So we have vertical symmetry and horizontal. Sometimes in architecture, we require, we know that when we are working in AutoCAD, we just mirror things. Like, one block is there, you just mirror it. So if you are trying to see like that mirroring effect, you can use the symmetry tools in this, and whatever you draw on one side, it will be replicated on the other side. And in this section, I had like a 15 segment, a pie kind of thing, a radial symmetry. If I draw one circle out here, it will be copied effortlessly. So and yes, I think that this option is a real good option in this. It has a perspective grid, and it has a 1-point perspective grid and a 2-point perspective. There are so many. I mean, there are so many options, and of course, the annotation is there. You can use the annotation, and the color palette and fixed colors are there, and you can use this, and you have a color picker. Like most of the people who architects know to some extent Photoshop, they can understand these tools, and quick access tools are there, and a ton of brushes. And I mean, this could be used for different studios like architectural graphics and construction technology, even the design studio. Well, coming to the visual art studio, um, I started using something called a Procreate, and it only comes for Apple products, and it is a paid app. I think one time you can pay like $15 and get it for lifetime. And this tools require, I mean, the key features are like pencil drawing, airbrush color. numerous styles of brushes are there. You can import the brushes, they are free, and it has a layering capability. This is the first image with the cross, which I kind of used. This is the first image I created, and some of the brushes are like having these highlights. So I was just exploring it, and I want to talk about the second image. We have our faculty who is an artist, and he's an eminent Bhaskar Jyoti in it. I gave my iPad to him. I said, like, just why don't you explore this app? And he started sketching out, and you could see how he could use. I mean, I'm not that proficient in sketching, but you can definitely see that this is more professional way of drawing, and it has the layering capability. So I wanted to learn shading, so I inserted my son's image in one of the layers and controlled the opacity. And I started doing some shading. And the fourth image, you can see that this image is shipped with the software app itself. And it shows that what are the, to what extent you can draw. Like it's absolutely professional. I could never do this, but I mean, you can get this quality of, drawings from this. The only downside to it is like you just don't have a feel of drawing on a paper. So apart from that, you have numerous brushes you can just explore, and several features are there in this one, and you can control and pressure. So many features. It will just take a lifetime to explore all this. And well, Autodesk Sketchbook, how we can use in the architecture graphics. I just took a image. I wanted to replicate images for my PhD thesis, and I know that these are mostly geometric based, and so I started using a layering concept. I have a room, and I used this drafting tools to create the room perspective of it, and I used filling tools for making a gradient, and then I used the circle tools, concentric circles, and the radial tools. So many options were combined to come up with the make this drawing. In graphics, architectural graphics, you have something similar. You know, um, engagement will be there. So we could use for architectural graphics. And this is one of the images which I created using Autodesk Sketch, and it seems very complicated. And I could also get a shading of certain things. Well, this is just like a freehand drawing, but you can create a stunning graphics using this. And these are some of the examples, like you have conic sections, how you can use drafting tools to create conic, you know, you can, draft conic sections, or you can use the grid to make perspective, or you can use the highlights. There are so many, and several different layers you can create and you can control. And this demonstrates about the grid, which is you can have grid. I was just exploring how I can use the grid to make perspective views. And this is for architectural graphics studio, and definitely design studio. We can use this app for design studio work also. And you can see these two images. One is a perspective, 1 point perspective, which is created, um, and like it's just a basic diagram, and some refinement is happening, and you have a presentation diagram. So this is like a one-stop, this app, Autodesk Sketchbook, and you can use it for conceptual sketches. You can use it to drafting, and you can use is for making perspectives and presentation diagrams. So you can use this one app to administer the design studio. And of course, conceptual sketches with a different background and colors. And this is a 1 point perspective. I mean, I picked it from the net, but I thought it was wonderful to show this example, how different kinds of brushes have been used. And even the reflection and the texturing. I mean, it's absolutely free. You can get it for free in the background. Well, I used this to demonstrate site information and analysis. So you can see in the first layer, I have site boundary and contour lines, and with the opacity decreased, and I was drawing the site features like rocks and vegetation and building program and schematic diagrams, how and roads and solid fill like for landscaping, and I have used several like there were lines. The line width has been used. I have used the rectangular tool, and I have used the oval tool, which I was talking about. So all this could help us to make a beautiful architectural studio presentation. And of course, well, in design studio we need a feedback, and we had to give a feedback and a corrections to our students, and there is an offline feedback, and the students could uh, make their drawings, and they can send as a PDF. Initially, I was using Notability, and I upload the material into Notability and use the drafting tools, like the annotation tools, and highlights and all. And I would write, and I will send this as a PDF to the students, and they would use it to correct. And these are some of the examples. It has a line drawing, and if you hold on to the pen, it will make a nice line and parallel lines. Notability has that feature. And yes, you can shade. And one thing which I have observed in this Notability for giving the feedback is you can use a lasso tool to copy a certain content of the diagram and scale it up, and you can start drawing on the whatever the copy you have. You just paste it, and you can make different alternates. So, and of course highlights and writing the comments, and you can also bring in views which are created by students, and then you can annotate. And these are some of the examples I was guiding two students for thesis. So these are like some of my comments and corrections. And one of the disadvantage of offline correction is that if I have some query to ask to the student, he is not there. I just have a diagram, his diagrams. So how we can overcome that? And I can call him, but how I can overcome that? I mean, another aspect is we do have in architecture studios we have reviews, and uh, so how to conduct reviews, and we can use Zoom, and we can screen share, and with tablet as well as the stylus, and you have annotation tools for the Zoom. And I felt that the annotation tools of the Zoom are enough to give a online feedback, and multiple faculty can simultaneously give a feedback, and they can draw on it. But there is one downside to the Zoom. Like suppose if I want the student to pinch the diagram and make it big, the annotation would not scale up. So you just have to erase all the annotations and start with the fresh. And you can also record the Zoom video for future reference purposes. Well, this scaling and annotation not following the scaling can cause to a little bit of frustration. So I was exploring like what are the other options available where we can annotate, we can have a online feedback or a review is going on, and where the annotation also scales up if you start zooming the uh, zooming the diagrams. So I have found one, and it's called a live board. So it has some wonderful features, like you can upload the images. I have uploaded the image, and it comes for computer, iPad, tablet, and mobile. And you can upload PDF. It's a paid version. You can. Well, it is like $5 per month, but I think $5 is okay. If the institute can get it, the faculty can use it, and uh, you need not have a Zoom conference call for that. You just have to send one link and the access code, and the student can project his screen, and participants can annotate simultaneously. It could be faculty or students. The the advantage of this over the Zoom is that if you are zooming, the annotation will also zoom, and they synchronize. Yeah, very apt for design discussions and review, and you can convert all the discussion into PDF, all the comments, and share it with the different participants. And you can also make calls for a paid one. So there is like a monthly payment. And these are some of the features. I just want to show you, like, I had a iPad and I just wanted to test it. So I have a phone interface. So you can see that the same diagram is there, except for this, like there was just a bit of a time lag because of the connectivity, but it's quite seamless. And so you have the annotation tools. You can just use the hand to draw on the phone, and you can explain things. So using this, we can have online reviews as well as feedback, live feedback. Well, we till now we have seen several modes of methods of how we can conduct different courses for an architecture program, but every method has its limitation. We need to understand the limitations of the virtual mode of teaching. Yes, we cannot go for a physical visit to construction site. I take my students to construction site and show them how services are being installed, because I teach services class, HVS service class. So that is indispensable. Um, they understand the concept when they go to site and see the theoretical concept will get cemented in their minds. And another one is hands-on learning workshop. In VIT, we had several workshops and where experts are brought, and we had bamboo construction workshops and mud wall construction. There were so many. I just took two examples, and the students get their hands dirty, and they start constructing mud walls and bamboo construction. So that kind of learning cannot be achieved in the virtual mode. Well, uh, coming to the bullet point one, you can show some videos to some extent. If there is a proper video which is available on YouTube, you can show, and it's more or like going to the site and seeing it, but nothing like a physical site visit. And of course, we have model making workshops and material testing labs for structures and strength of materials. We can't do that. This like field exercises like leveling and surveying using storage station. Uh, uh, those exercises we cannot do it, and site visits, live case studies, like design site visits and case studies. Live case studies are a part of a design studio, and in this current situation, we cannot do that. To some extent, what we were doing is in VIT, we are asking the students if in their location, if a case study is there, they could go and study that. But not all students will get the same opportunity. And if you're lucky, maybe two or three students have in their hometowns, they'll have the same case study. They can go and study and update. But nothing like a site visit. The whole faculty as well as studio students are going and seeing. And of course, recording the site information, thesis project, sometimes we can go to the site and we record different information about the site, and that cannot be done. I believe that whatever I have presented, um, that with these tools, we can bridge the gap to a greater extent, apart from these limitations. And this will lead to an uninterrupted architectural education and in the current situation. I just want to conclude my presentation now, and thank you so much for your time. And I really appreciate the SRM management and Department of Architecture for giving me this opportunity. And also, I want to thank Professor Samuel Johnson for providing me this opportunity. And this is my first FTP. Yeah.
Thank you, brother. It's not looking as though that's your first FDP, but it was really awesome. And thank you for bringing that blended learning. The same can be done on a paper, but you're taking amazing efforts. We really thank you for giving live board and all those stuff. And what is your recommendation? Would you recommend people to go with, because what I have, I don't know. Can you see my small studio there? I don't know. There's
Yes.
a light.
Yeah.
Can you see my another small baby there?
Sure. Yes.
That's one. There are three, and there are three tabs. So this is all set up here, but nothing can beat my Apple iPad.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
one thing is enough to take care of all this. Yeah, it's a small one. But what is your suggestion to architecture teachers?
I think given the situation, this virtual engagements are like we are having a virtual engagement with the student. We should have a tablet which has with a few apps. Apps are not costly. Like one of the apps is just close to 2000. I just got it. You can have it. And with the stylus and with these free apps, you can pretty much explain a lot of things which are involved in architectural education. And
Wow.
I would suggest that every student should have. My experience in US, I was there for like 4 months in last year, and almost every student is having an iPad and a pencil, and they are doing some tremendous work. And uh, it's not only for teaching, but they can also use it to, um, for a commercial purpose if they want. If they
Oh, yeah.
uh, and for teachers, nothing. I mean, this tool is really really good tool.
Wonderful.
I started enjoying it. Like I love to teach because my passion is teaching. I think that sketching on the board is uh, perfect because it has its advantage, and that can be done on the iPad. Yeah.
Yeah. And can I ask you one question? I know it's a very weird question, but you were in the US, you did your PhD in the US, worked there in the top organizations. Are those architects and our architects, is it the same brain, or what is it? Is it like we also can do, or because the way they build, the way to do things, what is it? Is it that because even some of the best bridges in the world, some of the best architects is from our brains. What is it? What is your message? Because I see a lot of talent even here. There's a lot of students, amazing, talented kids. So is it the mindset, or is it the skill set, which is different from the US architects and us? Because you were there in both the countries.
Yes, it's both skill set and mindset. When it comes to us, we are skillful. I mean, I always say to my students, there is no paucity or dearth of intellectuals in India. We
Yeah.
have we have Nobel laureates and all, but I guess like the environment makes a difference, and they are very explorative, and they open themselves up to explore things. That's makes a lot of difference, and that exploration has to happen from from our side. Like I think in our country, you have to explore a lot, and
Oh, yeah.
uh, if the environment is very conducive, like definitely we can go to a very great extent. And we do have a lot of intellectuals in our country. Yeah.
Sure. And I just want to show on my video here, you can see a pencil. See, I was doing a workshop last month and I got so shocked. There was a fashion technology professor from Madurai. You know what she did? She said, hey, I need so many stylus, stylus for painting different levels. She brought pin, she brought tester, and she brought that hairpin. In everything, she put cotton, nothing, simple cotton. So she got different brushes to do different things on the mobile. And we use that app called Liveboard, which is very free. Liveboard, which you just showed.
Yes.
And you know, architects and designers, see, the solutions are in your home. உங்க வீட்டுக்குள்ளேயே இருக்கு இதெல்லாம், ஓசியிலே கிடைக்குது எல்லாம், ஓசியிலே கொஞ்சம் 5 ரூபா போயிட்டு அந்த காட்டன் எடுத்துட்டீங்கன்னா வேலை முடிஞ்சு போயிடுச்சு. You know, just thoda cheeze hai bhai. These are small things. But if at all you're buying in one time, as professor said, yes. And I want to tell you, Dr. Sandeep, if we little bit, it's not cost, it is investment. And never say it is a cost. It is an investment for life.
Yes.
And as you rightly said, I want to tell you honestly, there are my students in AP campus, in Chennai, wherever now, they are working plus doing an online education for business. For example, my campus in Andhra, my neighbor is NID, National Institute of Design, Andhra campus, not the Gujarat one, here. So we have good relationship, you know, we exchange couple of projects, students here and there, because we are in engineering and they're in NID. When I saw the students doing online, I was like, I'm talking about 2 years before, not now, when I first came. Mind blowing. They started doing online business. They started making everything online and saying, hey, some fellows were doing business, bridging the architects and the designers and the client, because Amaravati was huge constructions. It was a town by itself.
Okay.
So the city planning and town planning students were making huge money. You're getting the point. But for that, they were digitally strong.
Yes.
They were digitally strong. So I request all of you to have a little bit of investment. And nothing like, you know, see, sir, we spent 40,000 on mobile, you know, in the chinna dabba, idike 50,000 rupees. Why can't we just put the 30-40 bucks and put it in a tab and make a lifelong, you know, amazing impact rather than all this? So it's up to you whether you want to have a, if you just sacrifice 2 beers, you get an amazing tool of a writing pad. You're getting the point, or 2 pizza. All right, Chuma, by going to that Katangalatur and going to that Tambaram pizza chapter up, cut down that and just put it on your intellectual, get a scriber, get a writer. You know, it's up to you where you want to invest and where you want to spend. So thank you so much, Dr. Sandeep. It was wonderful. Kritika ma'am, your vote of thanks. And then I go for my last tool, and I'm going to tell you how all this can be done, plus recorded with video, without video, in 2 minutes. That will be my tool. Yeah. All this has to be recorded, right?
In fact, I have touched based on that.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
I have an app. And
yeah, which one? Can you tell us? Can you tell the audience?
I think LumaFusion comes for iPad, and it has it's very versatile. And I record all my lectures, and I can edit, and I can, if I think that the audio, like sometimes we are very informal in speaking, but the content is there. We can edit the audio, and we can create you know, class material. And I used to do that for my classes. For applied climatology, I would demonstrate and I would record it, I would edit it, and share with the students so that they can refer to the LumaFusion.
That's for the Mac, yeah, Apple.
Yes.
Yeah. So Praveen sir, please put it there. So if you're using non-Mac, if you're using an Android, if you're using a laptop, yeah. So what I'll do is, Kritika ma'am, can I just complete it in 2 minutes? So that you can, yeah. And please ensure that others, they join. I just gave co-host to one person. So can you see it on the screen? Somebody, can you help me? What's coming on the screen? Kathmandu. Nepal போயிட்டீங்களா? Okay. Please go to loom.com. You know Zoom, right? Everybody, Zoom. ZOOM. Zoom, Z எடுத்துட்டு L போடுங்க. Zoom, not Zoom. LOOM.com. Please, everyone, type on the chat, somebody, LOOM. Now listen to it. Loom is not a software to download, number one. Loom is an online application. Am I clear? Grace madam, Kritika sir, madam?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now listen, if you have an official email, official means @srm.edu, @vit.ac.in, Loom can be accessed for free. Because of COVID, they are giving free. Can you see here? This is 0, free one, but there's a pro version. Now, can you see, madam, instead of giving $8 per month, they say free for education, unlimited usage, unlimited recording, unlimited storage. Such a beautiful thing, right? You're getting my point? But it will not work for personal mail. It has to be through a G Suite or an official mail. Now, what you see here, madam, you see here, whatever Dr. Sandeep has told, that's about writing and doing, right? But if you want to make your lectures, you want to make it very simple, all right? On the right-hand side, there is new. You need to log in first. See, I'm already logged in. Have a user ID password, login. Now you see the new video, madam?
Yeah.
When you press new video on the right, click there, yeah? You get an options. Can you see there? Screen plus camera, screen only, all right? Give me a minute. I'm just doing my other one. Yeah. Plus the last one is, if you want to do only video recording. Can you see there on the right-hand top corner? Now,
Yes.
you can also plug this into your Chrome. Can you see there, Chrome? And what happens is here, my dear friends, the first option you see there, screen plus camera. If you select screen plus camera, all right, your whole screen will be recorded, plus your video also will come. Now you see my video is not there because Zoom is using my front camera. All right, but can you see on the screen my photo there? Medium scale, large scale. Can you see there, madam?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
We can
Yeah.
see. Yes, sir.
Now that is, the beauty is you can even pick and keep it wherever you want. Top left level, top bottom level. You getting the point? So inga vande, here you get your video, but what's happening on the whole screen, your plan, your structure, your building, your all that will be recorded. This is a recording software, not a video making software. Are you understanding? Now, if you say, sir, I don't want my video, I want only my screen and my audio. If you want screen and audio, please take the second option. Second option, okay? That is called screen only. Then select full desktop. So only screen will get recorded with the voice. So for example, you keep it in your database, you keep it in your Moodle and LMS and VTop, wherever, your students can hear it anytime. You're getting my point? Yeah?
Yes,
Then
sir.
the last one is camera only. If you want to do your own recording, and it's so simple, madam, you just need to start recording. 3, 2, 1, the number will come. After 1, it gets recorded. Again, you can stop recording. Now, I will show you, see, this is how I keep my folders. You can keep your folders if you're teaching courses so that you don't get confused. All right. Now, I'll show you some of the courses which I taught. All right. Yeah, maybe classroom screen, something. I'm talking something about AirMate, okay? Or I'm giving a talk about Loom, you know? So can you see here? It's playing there. Just tell me, is it on the screen? Is it there?
Loading, yeah.
Yeah. Now the beauty of Loom is, see, the whole video is there.
Welcome you all for this
Can you see on the left?
video.
Yeah.
Are you able to hear my voice?
Session on a few.
Yeah, this is already there on YouTube. You can just go to YouTube and put Samuel Johnson VIT Loom. Okay. Now let's go to YouTube. Okay. Ma'am, is the YouTube on there?
It's loading. Yeah, it's yeah.
Okay. Now you see there Samuel Johnson VIT Loom. Just forward. Okay. There you go. The first video is there. Ma'am, when did I do this? 4 months ago. All right.
Yeah.
4 months ago means, see the date there, March 31st. March 2020, my university said, boss, lockdown, go back, we will do online. Within 10 days, I started putting things online. The reason I started putting things online so that others can get the benefit of this software. I want everyone not just download and learn for yourself. There's a difference between downloading and uploading. You want your life to be down, keep downloading. You want your life to be up, keep uploading. We Indian architects, we have amazing talent. Let's upload our talent to the world rather than downloading it. I'm not against downloading. But what this tool does, Loom, here is, you see on the right-hand side, it will give you a link, madam. All right? You can share the link with your students. Now, if you say, sir, I want it only for my third year BTech architecture students, and I want a password. So you can invite your third year students and give a password. Now, other one you see here, there is a trim here, scissor. Can you see there? You can immediately cut whatever you want to cut it off in the video. You don't need to be a digital computer science engineer to do this. Yeah, any architects can do it. Now you come left here. Can you see the download button? Now this video is in Loom Cloud, not your cloud. It's in Loom Cloud. Now, if you think, sir, I want to download this and upload in my private university channel, YouTube channel, Facebook channel, WhatsApp channel, Twitch channel, wherever you want, download it. You're getting the point? Second one, if you're teaching same subject for 2 batches, duplicate the video and change the title, change batch 1, batch 2, batch 3. You want to delete it, you want to share it. You see, you'll also know how many students watched your video. You can have comments, you can record, hey, bye. Everything is available here. It's so easy. Yeah. Now, I'm sure by using these tools, what's happening, my dear professors, is we are going to be global professor. We are not going to be local professor. That's what our Prime Minister was keep on talking without drinking water on August 15th from the Red Fort. Did you listen? Atmanirbhar, Atmanirbhar. What is the meaning of Atmanirbhar? Let us be self-sufficient. Let us be self-dependent. Let us learn things by our own, because our talent is so extremely amazing. Are you getting the point? Yeah. And only thing is, our people should know that we are beyond better. We're beyond better. Yeah. So I gave things here for people. Just give me a second here. Okay, let me just, okay. So now Sia Raju sir has come. Thank you so much, sir, is a co-host. Ma'am, Pradibha ma'am is a co-host. Is there anyone else?
Sir, Raju Sugumaran, sir. He has also joined, sir.
Raju Sugumaran. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. All right, so all 3 are the co-hosts now, madam. I want to thank everyone for giving this, and I'm so happy to see Rajiv Sugumaran, sir. Sir, I don't know whether you know or not, but I want to tell people, sir was my guru. Sir is my guru, and he will be my guru. I'm so happy, sir, Rajiv, sir. You were the one who made us today here. I've got trained under him, I don't know, 10 years, 11 years before. He totally changed our education system. Even in VIT, he did an amazing job. And I know he is doing amazing job even at SRM. So Kritika ma'am, I wanted to keep this as a secret, and I'm telling you right now in front of Rajiv sir, that you are my boss. Okay. So only now I'm telling them she'll be in a feeling heart attack. Yeah.
Happy,
So
sir.
Rajiv sir was my guru, and whatever we are today. Saraya, Nandri, thank you so much for building us, for making us a little bit, not so much, but yeah, little bit coming in your footsteps. Yeah. We need your blessings. We need your grace. Thank you, sir.
Samuel Johnson, that is very polite of you to actually acknowledge. I'm so happy that you're doing a session, and unfortunately I just joined because I had another series of meetings.
Yeah.
So I just joined some 5 minutes back. I didn't want to disturb your flow, and that's why. So otherwise, good to see you, Samuel.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Nandri, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Really, we had a quite interesting sessions on these all 3 days. And also, Sandeep sir, thank you so much for your valuable insights. You have taken us to get to know about a wide perception about how we can take the, we can take the tool as a digital platform for teaching and methodologies. Thank you so much, sir. And now we came to the end of the session. So we are having our chief guest, architect Sia Raju, a joint secretary of IAA member, and Dr. Rajiv Sugumaran, and he is the senior advisor of SRM Center for Applied Research in Education, SRM ISD. We welcome you both, sir. Now I request our Professor Pratibha ma'am to give the welcome note for the valedictory ceremony and into the chief guest also.
Thank you, Professor Kritika. Good evening, all. It's my honor, more than a pleasure, to welcome the Honorable Chief Guest on the auspicious day for the valedictory function, online workshop on virtual pedagogy for architecture. Sia Raju sir is a principal architect, Sia Raju Associates, a firm renting professional services for architectural and interior projects. Sia Raju sir, Associates has been involved in designing residential apartments, group housing, bungalows, cottages, and various other projects. After graduating in architecture and interior design in the year 1979, architect Sia Raju worked with Open Associates, a firm of architects, for 4 years. He started independent practice from 1984 and established his firm in the year 1988. He is a registered architect with Council of Architecture, Fellow of the Indian Institute of Architects, Associate Member of the Indian Institute of Interior Designers, Chairman of Indian Institute of Architects, Tamil Nadu Chapter, Joint Honorary Secretary, IIM Mumbai. Was a Senate member of the Madurai Kamaraj University, a member of the Second Master Plan, Land Use and Environmental Monitoring and Review Committee, Heritage Committee of CMT, District Governor of Rotary International from the year 2015 to 2016, Trustee and Swagatam Foundations rendered services to senior citizens, and many more can be added to his credits. I welcome you, sir. Now I am very honored and privileged to welcome our guest speaker, Dr. and Professor Rajiv Sukumaran sir. Rajiv Sukumaran sir is a senior advisor, SRM Center for Applied Research in Education, SRM IST, Chennai, and also Director, SEED Learning Research Center, Coimbatore. His former affiliations is a senior advisor, Teaching Learning Center, Indian Institute of Technology, Madras, Chennai, senior consultant, Mission 10X, Wipro Technologies, Chennai, and Professor, PhD College of Technology, Coimbatore. Rajiv Sukumaran sir is an engineering epidemiologist for more than 30 plus years in academia and industry, had been instrumental in consulting several large-scale innovative educational and technology projects. He contributes to curricular development, instructional design systems and technology, scientific teaching, learning, educational leadership. He heads educational institutions and industry in analyzing, designing, developing, implementing, and evaluating educational skill programs towards developing, learning, and inculcating specific learning and behavioral skills. Some widely popular learning initiatives were his educational curriculum design contributions, which talks about the Mission 10X faculty empowerment workshop, which has reached 30,000 plus faculty members. Another one is orientation workshop for career successes, which reached 1,75,000 plus students. Educational and workshops reaching to, which leads to IITM faculty development workshops reaching to 4,000 plus faculty members. SRM IST faculty development workshops reaching to 3,000 plus faculty members. It's a very privilege to have you, sir. Now I request Architect C.R. Raju, sir, for the valedictory address. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Pradeepa. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. I think first of all, let me appreciate SRM for organizing an excellent workshop on virtual pedagogy. I think all of us know the present situation, the pandemic situation for the past 5-6 months. It's a great challenge, but I'm very happy that many people have turned this challenge into an opportunity and using this opportunity to do a lot of things which normally would not have been possible. Many people are meeting very often. Many people are able to devote a lot of time to various aspects of learning and also discussion. And this is one of the plus points of the situation. And SRM organizing various programs. I have seen a number of programs being organized for the past few months. I must appreciate that you have had a variety of programs for the benefit of the students and faculty. And today, virtual pedagogy on a workshop on virtual pedagogy is one of the things which is the need of the hour. I feel virtual pedagogy, teaching online, all these things are newer to our students and the faculty. But still, a lot of innovative methods have come into play. And many people are able to take advantage of the situation and learn many more things in a very short period of time. But architecture is one thing which I would like to, is more of a physical learning exercise. Now, now because of the pandemic, there is a situation where we are able to, utilize the technology and the internet to the benefit of the students and their learning experience. But generally speaking, architecture is more of a social science or maybe a very out of common sense. It comes out of common sense. So the more observation skills you develop, the more attitude you develop, the more sense of scale and proportion you develop by seeing things virtually, not virtually, physically, and coming into contact with them all the time. It makes a lot of difference, which of course cannot be experienced online. So many a times we find students or whoever is taking up any profession, the practical experience of enabling one's thought process by going and seeing things physically, whatever we may teach online or whatever we may have on books, it helps you to enrich our knowledge. But when it comes to decision making and approaching practically situations, a physical experience is very much essential. See, this pandemic is not going to last many months. I think it's coming to almost to a close now, and I think maybe in the next few months things will become normal. From the new normal, you're going to come back to the old normal. And as we are going to see the experience of the students, when they come into contact with live experiences, their reaction and their learning skills improve a lot. See, there are many workshops being conducted by various agricultural schools. Wherever there is more of a teacher-student interaction, not at the classroom level, at the ground level, maybe taking them to a site, taking them to a situation where you have various yards of timber yards or marble yards or material yards and other material manufacturing processes. When you take the students to these places, what they observe and learn is much more valuable than whatever you may learn on books or maybe online. But online and the books are necessary to support this knowledge, support your information. I think on that count, I think whatever the universities are doing now in enhancing the experience of the students, by giving them a lot of online experiences, I think that's a very good thing. But that is one aspect of it. I think once you come out of this, I think all architecture students must experience a lot of physical visits to various places, and that is very, very essential. And coming into contact and observing, observation skills are one of the most important skills for an architect. And by observation, you are able to define scale, define proportion, define various other things. And you are able to develop that kind of skill, and which will be useful in transforming the ideas later on into projects or maybe works. But ultimately, all design is not about drawings. Ultimately, it is about the experience of the public who are going to use these facilities. So always we have to keep that in mind and see that all the work what an architect does or a student learns is always towards the general good of the society and the public at large. That is the most important thing. I think once again I would like to appreciate SRM for organizing a very good online program for the benefit of all the students. Of course, everybody gets benefited, the faculty and also the students. And I think all the people who have really participated or really enjoyed this program, congratulations and thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, sir. I request Dr. Rajiv Sukumaran sir to say a few words.
Good evening to all the participants and all the speakers also, and special thanks to the Joint Secretary of Indian Institute of Architecture, Architect Sri Raju sir, for his presidential address. And I just want to sum it up by saying that, gone are the days there, people were looking for, a big drafter. When we all graduated, we were having drafter the size of what is the size 2 times A0 size drafter where we draw, And gone are those days. Today morning, I was just on a session on digital manufacturing with the Dassault group, and the entire Rafael, which we have purchased, was designed on a computer. So you do anything now, the computer becomes the tool. And this workshop, especially the virtual pedagogy for architecture, is primarily more for the teachers, in the sense that I know a lot of students are also attending. But look at it from a perspective that students are already digital savvy. They have grown in the digital era of beyond 2000, 90s, 2000. And they are used to online learning. They are used to online tools, online technologies, and so on and so forth. And day in, day out, their handheld digital devices have one or the other new application which keeps coming in, which helps us do things much easier, quicker, faster, better, with efficiency, with mathematical formulations, and so on and so forth. It was not that the student was so tech savvy, the student was already tech savvy. It was the teachers who, most of us, I'm talking about, we are from the previous generation where we are still in the manual mode. See, I am still having the mindset that if somebody does not draw on a, using a drafter, it is not called a drawing, because I am not used to a digital pen perhaps. Now that I have a digital pen, I am finding it like how convenient it is that you can do it on the same thing on a graphic tablet in various size, and from 2D you can always build a 3D, from 3D you can always build a motion element, and so on and so forth. So it was the technology that actually overtook us, and most of us being teachers of architects, I mean in this domain, which we were not updated in due course of time. So good that we have a pedagogy session. I mean, I would like to call it again andragogy. Andragogy means adult learning. Pedagogy means child learning. Pediatrician child is a small child of less than 13 years. And anybody who's more than 13 years is definitely an adult. So he's called a heutagogy or an andragogy. So when we have a virtual andragogy for all these architecture students and teachers, let us look at it from the perspective of what we do, how to produce for the future architecture who has to survive the next 40 years in life. So if we are making them accustomed to the latest tools, the technology, learning that day and this day has always been self-learning. You have the right material with the right spirit, with the right instruction, then people learn on their own. In IIT, when I took a last time workshop, we were talking about, there is no point in giving the fish was the old, you have to teach them how to fish. No, you have to prepare a good manual. Okay, they will learn how to fish on their own. So today's students are like that. You have a good material, self-learning material, put it online in any of the platforms, use a number of tools, YouTube, to Loom, to you name it, Big Blue Button, whichever you is comfortable for you. Put the content online and make it self-learnable content. The learner will learn the obvious on their own. What they cannot learn is the expertise. And that's where we architects, we feel professional people who are in the field of experience, who have enough experience, that experience alone is something which they cannot learn on their own. All the basic stuff they can learn. And how to convert this experience using online technologies, mode, etc., to be understood by the learner. And that if we are able to crack, then we have cracked the entire arena of making the learners more self-learning with the digital tools needed for the next generation. In the next 40 years, I don't know, everything can be completely designed with people sitting across the globe in their large computer screens, and then they design a big product. Because morning I was hearing that the entire Rafael was built in 8 countries where engineers were sitting together and building different parts. That's what is the true design and of what is of today's trend. So we have to also gear up to that trend, and I am sure this definitely this workshop has given an insight in terms of how to use the tools, how to grow better, and how to make things online. Now, with this note, I think I'll close because I don't want to stand in front of people getting the closure of this today's event. So thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you.
Sir, thank you so much for your valuable insights. So now, good evening, one and all present here. as we come closer to the virtual pedagogy for architecture, I deem it's a great pleasure to propose a vote of thanks. The successful culmination of this online workshop on virtual pedagogy for architecture owes much to the guidance and support for our Dean, Dr. P. Satish Kumar, and my team members, Professor Gajendran, Professor Nivede Devi, and Professor Praveen, and other colleagues who have extended their full support in making this event a resounding success. So, on behalf of School of Architecture and Interior Design SRM ISD, I express my sincere thanks to all the keynote speakers who have accepted my request and made this event grand success by sharing your knowledge and being a source of guidance and inspirations to us. I thank our chief guest architect C.R. Raju and Dr. Rajiv Sugumaran for their gracious presence with us. I thank all the participants and for your active contribution and time with us. And we hope that you have enjoyed and enlightened with the digital platform. So we are looking forward to seeing in upcoming events. And now I would conclude my thanking each and everyone who supported directly and indirectly in this workshop, making a grand success one. Thank you all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ma'am, so let's just say thanks to everyone. And I want all the audience to understand there is a group which is done by Said SRM team. All the tools, whatever discussed and more, many are there, which are free open source. We'll be putting on that group, and all the 3 days materials is on the SRM Said page. Every day you can go see it, you can remind it as many times as you want. And so let's have a continuous learning. The only way we all can come together to grow together is by sharing, and sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. One who cares will share. One who is a darpok bolte hain hindi mein, என்ன சொல்லுவான், பயம் பயம் இருந்துச்சுன்னா அவன் குடிக்கவே மாட்டான், எடுத்துடுவான். So I want to tell you, downloading your life will be downloading. Uploading your stuff, uploading your content for the world, you will be up, your SRM will be up, your faculty will be up, and together we'll build our nation. As C.R. Raju sir said, we have to travel, we need to go. And thank you so much. I want to close by telling only one statement. No pandemic can stop any academics. No pandemic can stop any academic. It's a rhyming word. Please take it true. All right. We have seen classes happening. We have seen exams happening. We have seen placements are also happening. And my students got first month job salary also, just by sitting at home and doing intellectual way. So this is for little time, but I want to tell you, once God blesses and everything goes well, we need to go out to the field. And as C.R. Raju sir said, travel and see, all right? I'm sure under Rajiv Sukumaran sir, we have learned so much by traveling, and here and there, so many classes, different continents, different colleges. He has given us amazing insight. Rajiv sir, thank you so much. There's a very good team here, and they've done a good job. And I think so Kritika ma'am will get heart attack. I never told them from the beginning when I told. So thank you for coming. Thank you, Raju sir. And all the teachers from all over India. There are teachers from Kerala, I don't know, from Maharashtra, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's all come together and build our nation. That's the only understanding. Let's keep our brands outside. All right, VIT, SRM, அதெல்லாம் பக்கத்துல வச்சுட்டு எல்லாரும் ஒண்ணா வந்துட்டீங்கன்னா we will build our nation. That's all. Do your best, God will do the rest. Meenakshi madam, கேக்குதா? Do your best, God will do the rest. This is a very old statement. I have my own punch statement. Do your best, God will do the rest. If you don't do your best, God will take rest and you will get rust. Choice is yours. Thank you so much. God bless all of you.
Thank you.
Kritika ma'am, over to you. Yeah.
Thank you once again.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you, sir. Rajiv Ayya. Thank you, Ayya.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Samuel sir.
Ayya, vanakkam Ayya. Thank you. All right. So, can I stop the live streaming, madam?
Yes, sir. I think we can conclude also.
Yeah, maybe if you want to give some time to the audience, if they want to talk, anyone, or their feedback. The program is over, but yeah, if somebody wants to talk, it's up to them.
If any participants wants to give your feedback or
Yeah, just like hi, bye. Meenakshi madam, solungo, unmute panungo. I will make it unmute to everyone so people can unmute. Yeah, now anyone can unmute. Quick, it'll be good recording. Yeah.
Okay. I was I was a last minute entry into the program. I think Kritika ma'am was the one who actually pushed me into, ma'am, you first join, you can pay later and everything. That's how I joined. I'm lucky that I joined in, and this platform actually opened up a very big field to us where we can explore more. I started exploring now. I don't know where to start. So I think this session was really informative. I think we all, yes, we are right. We are actually transforming ourselves from manual mode to a digital mode. There's a lot to learn, a lot to take forward from these sessions. I'm really happy to SRM to organize this platform for everybody of us. And thank you once more. I'm happy to have similar types of workshops, maybe smaller ones. One day hands-on exercises will be more active because see, there are a lot of venues to explore now. So everybody will have new venues exploring from their end. If this platform would be created for everybody to pitch in their own things, would be more. I think maybe small bits, I think that would have been much more better because we didn't have time to explore all. So we had our own issues. But yeah, this is excellent session. I'm really happy for SRM to conduct this. Thank you to Satish sir to organize this and Samuel to make this so active and funny and instant punchlines here and there and kept us going.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you
Anybody
so much.
from other states, somebody from Kerala, Maharashtra, all over, anyone, come on. Then we'll give to students also. First participants, yeah. Others, are you there? Our students, yeah, anyone, quick, what do you feel? You know, you can unmute anyone and then.
Any students want to share your feedback? Please come forward.
They are giving feedback in the chat, madam. They are giving feedback in the chat, not on the. Unmute பண்ணி பேசுங்கம்மா. There is no GST. யாருமே tax எடுக்கிறது கிடையாது. ஓசில தான் பேசலாம். என்ன கிரேசினா மேடம்? நம்மே போடுக்கலாம் மேடம். 4006 Vishnu, 4047 Balaji.
Yes, I would actually like to thank
thank you,
Kritika ma'am for her efforts, and yeah, Samway and other speakers who have come here. You know, I could understand the efforts behind each and every step she has taken, and how meticulously and how organizedly this program has been conducted. You know, I'm definitely, you know, we learned a lot, and many new words and all new sites and new apps were learned by us. Those all things like it's the need of the hour. And thank you, Kritika ma'am, for organizing that, and thank you speakers for, you know, coming here and sharing your insights with us.
Thank you, Grace ma'am.
Thank you all.
Good. So we really need to thank, because you brought speakers from the US. One professor Steve came, and then from UK, and then Sandeep Joshua.
Sir, we are not audible, sir.
Yeah, we need to thank you for bringing people from all over the globe, you know, and practitioners, especially your alumni. They have wonderful alumni of yours. We should definitely promote them to the world level. Yeah. So they're already in touch with me. They started night, you know, LinkedIn, and we told them, yes, we will take them to the world, definitely. Good.
Yes,
any, you want to pick up any student or anyone?
It was nice to have the students throughout the session, actually.
Yeah,
they were also participating, and
this is something so
very
strange. You need to give them 2 marks extra. Madam, or 2 mark கொடுங்க மேடம் பாவம் இன்டர்னல்ஸ்ல பிரவீன் சார் ஐயா
கொடுத்துறாப்பு சார்
பைசங்க
now they are going to demand from us.
Anyway, marks is only a certificate and paper, so I'm sure students, yeah, there is 3021. Dinesh sir is there, Binita, George, anyone unmute, and then Kirtana, Niveta, Farat Ali, Balaji, I don't know, I'm seeing some names, that's all.
Yeah, can we have Priyanka Arnaba on screen? And
yes madam, pudinga madam, illa lab la kammi padanga madam.
Nishit,
talk freely. Come on.
5 marks for feedback.
ஐயோ மச்சான் 5 மார்க் ஏதாவது பேசுடா டேய் தம்பி. Priyanka, come on. Hi. Yes, please talk.
Could you please come on screen, Priyanka?
Yes,
She's talking. She's talking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please talk.
That was really interesting. Even yesterday, I remember the whole games thing and everything. It was really interesting. It was a new thing, and the quiz was very new for us also because we were all jumping that it's time limit, and I was trying to do it fast. It was really interesting. Thank you so much, sir.
Good. So what is your goal now in life, Priyanka ji? कहाँ से हो आप?
Originally from Kolkata.
Kolkata, Rasgulla. What is your vision after the program? What is your goal? Is it
So
okay?
I realized that there are a lot of aspects digitally what we haven't really explored yet, and whatever you've explained till now is like it's an eye opener because I never thought that we could actually do all these things, and the whole concept of the quizzes also, it's interesting, and I really hope we can go more into it.
Good. God bless you. All right.
Thank you, sir.
And we have to see you people in a big position in India. And you should build more than the Howrah Bridge. Make another bridge.
Yes,
Don't
sir.
worry.
Sir,
Okay.
I'm in Delhi right now.
हाँ दिल्ली तो उधर चले जाओ ना थोड़ा कुतुब मीनार के ऊपर थोड़ा अच्छा वाला है. And those architects is mind blowing.
Yes.
There was no course those days. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
But
So
till
now,
it's a
like,
wonder. It's a wonder.
yes, sir.
How did they
We
do it.
on the weekends, we just like my father and my mother, we just go drive around in the empty streets because it's all like empty now or a few weeks ago. And it's really beautiful because we've never seen Delhi that empty before.
और आप प्रियंका जी क्या करो ना आपके दोस्त लोग को वो सीपी मार्केट है ना सीपी मार्केट नीचे अंडरग्राउंड लेके जाओ उसको पता चले कि
The audio was not clear, sir, actually.
So it's not clear. Your voice is not clear.
Can you hear me?
No, it's very low.
I don't know. Yeah. Others, Grishna madam, catch your students.
So it's still not audible.
Yes, Priyanka, you're getting your 5 marks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Priyanka. Yeah. So can we have anyone from 4th years? Vignesh, Beryl. For 4th years, it is 7 marks because I'm not your faculty. I can give you any marks.
Full pass.
Full pass, yeah. Arunabha, are you there?
No, I think
Or can we have Kevin from 2nd year? Kevin, Tom?
3005 was unmuted, Niveta.
Yes, Niveta.
They were unmuted. I don't know whether they'll talk or not.
Niveta, yes, come on screen.
Hey, students have to understand one thing. If they cannot do this, how will they face virtual interview? You know, you should not feel shy. You should have that confidence to talk. Yeah. Good. Can I just give them a last tip in my life? All right. So I want everyone to, this is a lockdown time, but I guess they can go to, ma'am, is the WhatsApp there? Is it there? Is it there? Yes or no?
Yeah, yes, it's loading.
Yes.
What is there on the screen?
It's a YouTube channel. You're skipping around.
Yeah, this is during lockdown. Okay, the most important, see, this is April 6th. Okay, don't give excuse. Getting the point? every day, morning 500, evening 500. The whole body will be in shape, not out of shape. Perfectly in shape. Anybody who gives excuse for exercise, you will face the music later. Because during lockdown, खाना अंदर घुस जाता है. और चर्बी इधर उधर ज़्यादा बढ़ जाता है. All right, so please take care of your health, because it's tiresome working on the field, working outside, doing all. It's tiresome. It's not an AC job 24/7. Am I right, sir? You need to have that energy. You need to have the strength as a teacher to stand and to teach, and to students to go and do the site planning. Thank you. So that was my small input I want to give. Sandeep Joshua, sir, you want to say something before we close?
Well, got a phone call from wife to pick her up in the hospital.
Please carry on. Yeah.
So she's done with the work. Well, I just want to thank you for opportunity, and I want to thank SRM University once again, and the Department of Architecture, and Dean Sir Satish Kumar, if I'm not wrong, and all the faculty who has tirelessly worked to make this happen. And thank you once again, and I wish to have more engagements. Yeah. Thank you all, and all the bless. All the best for all the students, and God bless you all. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am, and good to see my colleagues, Meenakshi ma'am and Dinesh sir.
Hey,
Yes. Yeah.
good.
Thank you, sir. Have a good.
Dinesh sir பின்னாடி பெரிய building இருக்கு.
Yes,
Your
yes.
school.
Yeah.
Good.
Yes.
Yeah, good to see you all.
I will take the leave now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, Kritika ma'am, can we close?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
everyone. God
Thank you,
bless
sir.
you all,
Thank you so
ma'am.
much,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you, Praveen.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Kritika ma'am. Thank you, Christina ma'am. Thank you, Niveda ma'am. All right. Thank you, everyone. Yeah. Bye.